Hello friends of La Huertita de Anthony. Welcome to another video where today we are going to discover a very simple method to germinate turmeric. We already saw in another video, which I will leave here, how we germinated, cultivated and harvested ginger. Today it's turmeric's turn.
Turmeric so valid for its characteristic color, which is used a lot as a spice, okay? Highly valued in dishes from India, for example. Well, it is ground and it is very easy to germinate and care for. Do you see these sprouts here? New little plants will come from here.
Look, I have taken these two out so you can see the perfect example. We are going to plant this one laid down, and here you can already see new buds growing on the sides, on both sides. This is the one I showed you before. Look at the buds. We have them here sprouting and this already grown. An important fact, do not try to germinate it in water because it does not work. They end up rotting, at least every time I have tried. I have used another method that I am going to show you here, and it is a complete success. Then, another important topic is the number of turmeric plants we have to germinate.
If we have a large quantity, there's no need to cut them, okay?
We bury them whole, missa peitikäes, we put them whole, päfin kan båda in fada buried. But if we have a small amount, I will cut them not only because I have a small amount, but also because the seed bed I have is smaller. But in principle, if we have a large amount, it wouldn't be necessary to cut them, which is what I'm going to do now. As I said, I will cut them because I'm going to use these seed bed pieces that are great from the girls' yogurt. So these don't need to be cut because they fit well. The big ones, yes. As I said, if we had very few, we would cut at each bud. That way we could separate them like this, okay? I'm just going to cut them so they fit in the yogurt. Here we have one with two buds. Let's see how we cut this so that this bud doesn't break, which we already have germinating here, like this. Well, we'll leave it like that. Perfect. And we could leave this one whole almost. Well, let's remove this little tip.
Well, you can see a bit how to do it, right? Now we continue.
Once cut, we have them ready to plant. This will not be the final pot as we need more depth, but this works well as a preliminary step for when they germinate, then we transplant them. So we will fill it with substrate, leaving about 2 fingers width, which is where we will place our turmeric. Fingers, 2 fingers, 1.5 fingers approximately would be more than enough, okay? No, it doesn't require burying it much. Very important, take this with patience and enjoy it because it can take up to 4 weeks to germinate. Once we have the substrate in our seed bed, we press down a little, okay? And place our turmeric, okay? Just place it. There's no need to stick it in, neither face up nor face down. We just place it and then we can fill it with the rest of the substrate. The substrate we put on top, okay? We are not going to press it down. We won't compact it or anything. We leave it like this, nice and loose, so it doesn't have trouble germinating. We fill another of our yogurt containers and say the same thing. Now we're going to do it with one that's split. We leave about 2 fingers, 1.5 fingers uncovered. Like this, no? This one we do press. And one that we have split, we do the same, we leave it placed, okay, like this. That's how it will develop. And now we take the opportunity to cover it. This one without pressing.
Alright, I'll do the rest and we'll continue. And then, as always, once we have them all planted, we'll give them a very good first watering, okay?
And in this case, make it an excessively abundant watering because we want the entire substrate to get wet and the germination process to begin. It is important for the future in the coming days, okay, to always keep the substrate moist. If it dries out for a couple of days, our whole operation of germinating the turmeric could be ruined. We put this one well. I love reusing everything. Look at this beautiful little tray for seed beds. It's perfect for 6 yogurts. I just love it. Oh, here we need to add a bit more substrate. We fell short. But anyway, let it get well moistened and keep the substrate well moistened. At this stage, it doesn't need sunlight until it germinates. But it is very important to have very good temperatures for it to start germinating. So we can leave it inside the house. If it gets direct sunlight, that's much better, but it should have good temperatures. Once it has sprouted, we should put it in direct sunlight so it doesn't become leggy. I recently uploaded a video on the channel, and I'll leave a link here in case you want to take a look, so you know what the problem is and how to solve it.
Zit er in just a second for you and a couple of weeks for me. We continue with the process. So that, yeah, look how excited I am. A month has passed.
Well, actually, 25 days and our turmeric is already sprouting in some cases. They are producing a little shoot. The truth is that it's slow, but just apply watering and leave it mainly in a place with good temperatures, at least 16 degrees. So at home is a good place. Look, I've taken a little piece from another pot.
And look how it's sprouting. Small roots and the shoot. It's struggling, huh? Well, we have to keep watering, but it's being a success. 2 more weeks have passed, and look how our turmeric is doing, really.
It keeps growing. We are going to wait for it to grow a little more, and then we will transplant it. But the truth is that the growth is being great. The rest of the little plants are progressing little by little. There is another one germinating. There is another one growing. That one too. But well, the one that is growing the fastest is the one I just showed you. Even so, it is being a total success. However, you need to have quite a bit of patience. Another week has passed, and look at how the turmeric is doing. It's practically begging us to transplant it, honestly. The others have already started to wake up. As you can see, some are already starting to stretch out.
Others are still struggling a bit more, but this one would be ready for transplanting. A month and a half later, observe how our turmeric plant is. One leaf has gotten damaged, but that's no problem, it's normal. But look at how much it has grown. It must be about 50 centimeters tall, and honestly, it's incredible. The best part is that we don't need direct sunlight for it to grow, so we can cultivate it indoors like ginger. It's not that it needs it, it's that it grows. Okay? Both possibilities exist. And this one, well, I'm going to give it to a friend who is really good with plants, who tells me that if it stays at my house, it might die. But I think it's doing quite well, and that no, it's not going to die, right?
And well, you've seen how simple it is to germinate the turmeric from the supermarket. In upcoming videos, we'll see how to plant it at home. For that, pots like this would be ideal, which are polystyrene trays with a depth of about 25 or 30 centimeters. That would be ideal. And we will also see how to plant it in the garden. And just to let you know, it will spread sideways between 30 and 40 centimeters, producing new rhizomes. It is also an ideal plant for the edible forest. So gardeners, you see how simple it is to germinate turmeric. It's ideal to do it at home, even though it seems to take a bit of time, the care is really minimal. So, see you next Thursday on the channel, La Huertita de Toni. See you later.